All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Shema, Yasharala, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh Chud.
There is no Lord God, no Lord.
Khan, Shabbat, not Shabbat Shalom, so like yeah, but Shalom to everybody. Yahawashi Mashabakathum to everybody as well. Hey, good morning, man. Before the noonday, I just wanted to start this class. I want to start doing more popping up and just giving little short lessons, short conversations, couple of precepts to just to warn everybody, feed the sheep and get everybody get a good understanding, give a good understanding to the people, and where everybody can understand what's going on, and just to talk to y'all because a lot of y'all are unaware. And a lot of people speak big swelling words, because they be in their flesh and they still in their old man. And you got to be killing off your old man daily. And this video was about killing off the old man, that old flesh. That's what this video is about. And I'm gonna be doing them all week. The 7 steps of Yahawashi. We already gave you the first step last week. This week we're gonna give you the second step, all right, which is kill off the old man. Can you pull that for me, Baba Kasha?
First Corinthians 8 and 2.
Yeah. Nice and loud, Baba Kasha.
This is First Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know.
Yeah, as he ought to know. If any man think he knoweth anything, he knows nothing. And what is that saying? You think you know what you're talking about, but come to understand when you really come to an understanding of the scriptures, you really don't know what you ought to know. You don't. That's why you got to kill off that old man, because you don't know what you ought to know. You think you know something, but you don't. And that goes for me too. That's why I study to show thyself approved. This is like a college course when you come into the truth. It's a college course, basically. You are learning every day. You're learning. Hey, turn that light on in the back, barbecue shop. You're learning every day. You're putting forth an effort. Okay? You always got to put forth an effort. And you're always learning. Okay? And it's not easy. This is not an easy walk, man. There's going to be some things that tempt you. And we're going to go into the flesh as well, because it has a lot to do with putting off the old man, tearing that old flesh off so you can be new. All right? Renew yourself in the spirit. Okay? So give me Ephesians 4 and 22, Bible Kasha.
It's Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
That you put off concerning former conversation, the old man.
The what?
The old man.
The old man. That old flesh you got right now. Coming into this truth, that's your old man when you come into the truth. You got to kill that man and that woman off. All right, I've told people before, they come in with their old names in the world. That's that old man right there. You got to kill him off. That person right there will not survive in the truth. That person right there will not get into the kingdom of heaven. That's your old man. If your name in the world was Pookie, you can't be Pookie no more, man. If your name in the world was Justin, you can't be Justin no more. You got to kill off that old man. And when you kill off the old man, it's like in the time of Yahawashi, when he was naming his disciples based off the spirit that they have. We'll get into that another time. I just wanted to show y'all that. Go ahead.
The old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust.
To the deceitful lust. Go ahead.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
And be renewed. Go ahead. In the spirit of your mind. Go ahead.
And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Right.
Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another.
Stop right there. For we are members one of another. Give me Isaiah 30 and 9 real quick. And hold that spot. You need a bookmark. So
Isaiah 30 and 9.
Come, Isaiah 30 and 9.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children.
Say what?
Lying children.
We are lying children. A man know not what he know, what he's supposed to know. Read.
Children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
Right.
Which say to the seers, see not.
Right.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
What?
Prophesy not unto us right things.
That's what people say to us when we out there on the highways. Prophesy not unto us right things. Go ahead.
Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits.
Prophesy lies. Don't talk about the truth. That's that old man. People come up to us in their old man and old flesh, and you understand why we're not listening to y'all. We'll listen to you, and we understand where you're coming from, but we trying to let y'all know, man. You your old man. Let's go back to where we was in Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor.
Speak every man the truth with your neighbor. Go ahead.
For we are members one of another. But be ye angry and sin not.
But what?
Be ye angry and sin not.
Anger is that passion that you have about somebody that makes you mad. Okay? And what I like to do in my lessons is I like to break down words because a lot of people don't understand words. Okay, people say words, but they really don't understand them like they ought to. They think they do, but you don't. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything to anybody. We're not doing. I just feel you need to know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Be ye angry and sin not.
Right.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Right.
Neither give place to the devil. Let him that stole steal no more.
Right.
But rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good.
And you wouldn't think that's your old man that's stealing. You got to kill him off. You can't steal no more when you come into this truth. And you got to understand what stealing is. Taking something that is not yours. Idolatry is stealing to me. You taking another man's wife, you're stealing, man. You're stealing. That's stealing. That's adultery. You're taking another man's wife. And I just wanted to go back to anger. Anger is a violent passion of the mind, excited by a real or supposed injury, usually accompanied with a proximity to take vengeance or to obtain satisfaction from the offending party. This passion, however, varies in degrees of violence, and ingenuous minds may be attended only with a desire to reprove or chide the offender. All right. So continue to read.
And grieve not the Holy Spirit. Oh, it's like it. Verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth.
Right.
But that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
Corrupt communication can be talking behind somebody's back, talking negative about them. It can be homosexual talk, lesbian talk. It can be fornication talk. Fornication talk is you sitting there talking about, you're giving vocal gestures of what you want to do to a female. You're sitting there talking to her, and she's not your wife. It's also fornication because it turns into it. It's not what goes into you that defiles you, what comes out. Okay. Read.
And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby you are sealed unto the day of redemption.
Right.
That all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor, evil speaking, be put away from you.
So let's stop right there. Wrath. It's violent anger. So it's a step past anger. Wrath is a violent anger. All right. As the wrath, right? You say malice, right?
Okay.
Malice is extreme enmity of heart or malevolence, a disposition to injure others without cause, for mere personal gratification, or form a spirit of revenge, unprovoked malignity, or spite. Extreme enmity of heart. All right, wrath. That's malice right there. Right? Name the ones you just named from that precept again.
All bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking you put away from you with all malice.
Okay. Bitterness. In a figurative sense, extreme enmity, grudge, hatred, or an excess degree or incapableness of passion and emotions, as the bitterness of anger, right? Keenness of reproach, right? Extreme enmity, bitterness, clamor. How can I explain that? It's a great outcry. You know how your mom used to go through the house and just complain about you? Just an outcry. It's like, ugh. It's like you sound like mama. Why are you yelling through the house like that? I want y'all to do yours. That's clamor. The way how she's doing it is clamor. The voice, that outcry, clamor. To utter loud sounds or outcries, to talk loud, to make importunate demands, to make importunate demands. Grieve is to give pain of mind, to wound the feeling, to make sorrowful, to excite regret in, to feel pain of the mind or heart. Filthy communication. Filthy, dirty, foul, unclean, nasty, polluted, defiled by sinful practices, morally impure. Obtained by base and dishonest means. Okay. You say covetousness?
Huh?
Did you say covetousness?
No, it's not.
Okay. Keep reading.
And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you.
Kind. Okay, cool. Read that last part, Fisher.
And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you.
Because the old man is not too forgiving. The old woman is not too forgiving. You got to humble yourself down. You're losing patience. When you don't have patience with somebody, you don't forgive them because you don't have patience for them. You lost patience. Give me that woe to them who have lost patience. You lost patience. That's why. Be ye kind-hearted one to another. That's the old man. It's Sirach 2:14.
Sirach 2:14.
Kind. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto them who have lost patience. That's what that comes from. Not being tenderhearted with your brother and your sister. You lost patience. You don't want to be patient with them no more. You don't even want to deal with them no more. You just lost patience. You gotta humble down. That's how you get over that not being patient. You humble down. I'm ready when you are.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Say it again.
Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
Because you lost patience. So when the Most High sends His Son Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, to visit you, it's because you have lost patience. Your old man is coming. That new man, you won't allow that new man or that new woman to live. You're not being tenderhearted with your people. Or your people's not being tenderhearted with you. And you got to understand, when your people have lost patience with you, your people have lost patience with you. And they don't want to deal with that no more. They in their flesh, they old man. And you got to understand when people old man is on them. And you got to know when to fall back and allow the Most High to work with them. Because people be in their families, and you got to understand that these people are not in the truth. They in their old man, they flesh. They're not trying to deal with that. They don't have patience to deal with that. And you can tell them to. You can be like, oh, I got epiphany, a little light bulb above your head. Like, ding. Oh, let me tell them, y'all lost patience with me. Now you're making them feel bad. That's how people in the flesh are. When you tell them something that is like an epiphany, like, yeah, y'all lost patience with me. Yeah, go ahead and tell them and see what happens. Rebuke not a scorner, at least he hates you more. You can't. You got to let the Most High work. Give me 1 John 2:16. Got to kill off the old man. Got to kill off the old man.
First John 2:16. This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
You know where that flesh spot is? The lust of the flesh? It's talking about that genitalia area. The lust of the flesh. That yearning. The lust of the flesh. The lust of the eyes. What you see and you take in. Read that again.
1 John 2, verse 4, verse 16. Wait. Was 16 or 2:16?
I believe so.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. It's all flesh. It's all just unprofitable stuff. That's your old man wanting. The pride of life, you know. You go around with your boys and you're chilling, everybody. Meet me at the bar, we turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get faded. You know, you just drinking. That's your flesh. That's your old man wanting to do that. And it's cool to chill with your boys. It's cool to chill with your girlies. It's just that when you drink, y'all get drunk, brothers and sisters. When you drink, you get drunk. That's when it goes into sin. And then guess what else comes in? The flesh of the eyes. Now the new eyes are gone. Now the old eyes is back, and the old man and that old woman is, you start looking at things a different way now. You got to kill off that old man, that old woman. You got to kill them off. And it's a daily thing. You start putting yourself around people who help you be better, who help you with Yahweh, who has you live according to how Yahweh lives. You always put yourself around people like that. If you wanted to be a millionaire, right? What are you going to do? Surround yourself around millionaires, right? If you wanted to be a ballerina, ballet dancer, sister, son, what you going to do? Put yourself around ballerinas. If you wanted to get into the kingdom of the Most High, do you put yourself around people who don't understand how to get to the kingdom of the Most High? Are you going to be around people who don't understand how to get to the bag? Are you going to understand? Do you want to put yourself around people who don't understand how to dance and ballerina and spin around on their toes and don't know how to teach you how to wrap your toes and tape your toes so your knuckles on your toes won't mess up and be all like you're 89 years old and everything? No, you don't do that. That's crazy. You got to kill off your old man. A little leaven the whole lump. You got to understand that. It's a must that you understand that. Give me Colossians 3:1. Get out your flesh. Kill you off your old man. The lust of the eyes. Remember that. It's not what goes in that kills. It's not what goes in that defiles a man or woman. It's what comes out. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. Mm-hmm. If ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above.
Seek the kingdom. That's above. Eternal life. Immortal bodies. Living forever. Go ahead.
Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. Mm-hmm. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth.
Right.
For you are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God.
Yeah. Keep going. We're going to 17.
Okay. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mm-hmm. Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth.
Mortify therefore your members that are here upon the earth. And what are these members? It's about to mortify means to kill off. Kill them off. Okay? And what are these members you have to mortify? Go ahead.
Fornication.
Fornication. What is that? The incontinence of lewdness of unmarried person. Right? Male or female. Adultery, incest, idolatry. Incontinence is lack of voluntary control. Right? That's a lack of voluntary control. So when fornication said the incontinence of lewdness, the lack of voluntary control or lewdness, you just don't have, like, acting like you don't have no control over yourself. You just got to do it. It's like I knew I wasn't supposed to do this when I went out, but I did it anyways. You lack the voluntary control over yourself. You just got to do it. That's fornication. The fact that you lose voluntary control of yourself to do something good and you do something bad that you know you're not supposed to, that's fornication. Lewdness, involving or being sexual conduct that is considered indecent or offensive. Now we're about to find out what is indecent and offensive. This is fornication, y'all. Groping, touching a woman touching that man in places she should not, if that's not her husband. Indecent exposure of genitalia, right? That's not your husband, not your. If you're engaged to somebody in courtship, that's basically your husband and wife. These are things that are meant for marriage. Outside of marriage, and you're not courting anything like that, that is fornication. Don't even be talking about groping, touching, and stuff like that. No. Indecent exposure of genitalia, that's fornication. Sexually touching someone else, that's fornication. Getting someone else to sexually touch you, That's fornication. Touching them and them touching you. So it goes with kissing and everything else, groping. That's not your husband. It's not your wife. That's fornication, which is idolatry. Fornication is idolatry. That's a sexual desire for that person, and you want them. You might as well just make him your husband, make her your wife. But get to know him first. You gotta kill off that flesh. You gotta hold yourself back. All right? Go ahead. This is the old man. You gotta kill off this old man. Uncleanness, right?
Inordinate affection.
Hold on. Uncleanness is a physical thing. In a moral sense, the impurity of lustful, profligate living, or impure motives. Impure motives. All right? Impure is obscene, as impure language or ideas, impure language or ideas. Right? And what are motives? A reason for doing something, especially one that is hidden or not obvious. So this is impure language or ideas that is not is impure motives to do something. You're thinking about doing something that's impure. You're thinking about it. You have ideas of doing something that's not right. Right? Prolificate living is an abandoned man, a wretch who has lost all regard of good principles. Go ahead. You said inordinate affection?
Come.
Or inordinate affection is an irregular, disorderly, excessive, immoderate, not limited to rules prescribed, or to usual bonds as inordinate life of the world. Inordinate desire of fame is an irregular, disorderly, and excessive. That's inordinate. Affection is excessive. What they call that? A woman can be stalking you, a man can be stalking you. I forgot what they call that. We'll come back to it. Go ahead, next one.
Evil concupiscence.
Evil concupiscence, right? Lust, unlawful or irregular, almost like inordinate affection, but unlawful or irregular desire of sexual pleasure. Irregular, you call them hoes. You call them whoremongers, right? Whores of women, whoremongers of men, right? It's an unlawful or irregular desire of sexual pleasure. In a more general sense, the coveting of carnal things, flesh things, is carnal, or an irregular appetite for worldly good, right? Inclination of unlawful enjoyments. Go ahead.
Evil concupiscence and covetousness.
Covetousness.
Which is idolatry.
Which is idolatry. Covetousness, a strong or inordinate desire of obtaining and possessing some supposed good, usually in a bad sense, and applied to an inordinate desire of wealth or avarice. Strong desire is like eagerness. A strong desire is eager to have it. Go ahead.
In which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them.
Your old man. Go ahead.
Wait, no. So like verse 6. For which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
You got to start from precept up, though. I kind of messed it up.
Verse 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
These members, you got to kill them off. What I just read to you. Go ahead.
Fornication.
Right.
Cleanness. Inordinate affection. Evil concupiscence. And covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
So you got to kill these off. Christ is saying you got to kill these off. He don't want these to be found on him when he get here. He wants you to kill them all. Now, ain't that something? A lot of people not thinking about this. That's why we bringing this out, because y'all not thinking about this. Because if ye be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, which Christ sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh. Set your affection on things above and not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach Yahawashi, who ye ignorantly call Christ. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. That's your glorious body, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you'll be having your glorious body too. You know what I'm saying? But y'all won't be appearing with Yahawashi. It'll be the men, the 144,000 of, keep going, read.
In which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man, which with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free.
Which number? Which verse are you on?
Verse 11 now.
All right.
But Christ is all and in all. Put on therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
All right, go ahead.
We're going to start.
I'm just a precept up.
Put on therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy.
So this is what you want to put on. So you want to kill off, you want to mortify those other members. Now you want to put on these. Read.
Kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness.
Humbleness of mind, meek meaning humble. Go ahead.
Long suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another.
So if you're long suffering, that means you're being patient. Patience is key in this. And how you have patience, you gotta humble down. When you catch yourself not wanting to listen to somebody, you turn it like, man, you lost patience with them. Humble down and just listen. Read.
If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts. To the watch also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another.
And this is the problem that we have with church. I want you to start at that precept up you just finished reading after this. And this is what we have, what problem we have with the church. They don't teach people to mortify those members. They only teach them to do that. And our people become walking zombies. They become walking zombies, man. Just being so nice to people, but they're not killing off any of that fornication, any of those members. Wrath, anger, and they're not killing it all. None of it. You got all kind of hoes and whoremongers in the church. You do. And then people come into the truth of the matter, what we call the truth, being who you are, following the laws of the Most High, and following and believing in his son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. All right? All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, all the time. You can never exalt him enough for bringing us into this truth and allowing us to talk to you and speak to y'all, and teach you and feed you. All right? Give me Matthew 22 and 29 and hold that. For, sitting here allowing us to do this for y'all. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given any marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead.
I just wanted you to read 29. I go back. You err not knowing the scriptures.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom.
Right.
Teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns.
Teaching and admonishing, teaching and correcting one another in psalms and in hymns. Go ahead.
And spiritual songs. Singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
Right.
And whatsoever you do in the word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord.
Deed is your good deeds and how what you do for people and how you do them. Those are your good deeds, your truth. You know what I'm saying? When you tell somebody you're gonna do something, you do it. That's a good deed. In deeds and in truth. Go ahead.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus. Giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
Okay. Is that it? Okay. Give me James 1 and 14, Bible for sure.
This is James chapter 1, verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
That lust is your old man. When you're drawn away of your old man, right? Go ahead. And enticed.
And when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Now, what's that lust? It could be liquor. It could be porn. It could be women. It could be men. That lust. It could be family. Because family can have you go off and you not even know. Because I'm not talking about your intermediate family. I'm talking about your outer family. You got your outer family, you got your husband, and you got your wife. That family right there should be controlled right there. Husband, wife, children. That family should be controlled right there. It should be controlled. Now you got your outer family. That one is not controlled. That family right there can have you going off. It really can. And all the things that you do with them, when you get with them, and the things that you're not supposed to do, you start doing those things. Drinking, your eyes. Remember, what did it say? In 1 John 2 and 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, sex that has to do with sexual things, your genitalia area, that thing, the lust of the flesh, and how you feel when you're drinking and when you're around them and other people coming around and how you used to act with them. It's your old man, it's your old woman. Right? And the lust of the eyes, how you see things is different. You're not seeing things in a pure way. And the pride of life, things that you have accomplished in the world. You start talking about this and that, and I'm this, I'm that, and everything else. And yeah, the pride of life. Read, it's not.
God. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
And when that lust that you used to doing, that pride, and sexual things, the things you look at, when it has conceived, it's born. You know what I'm saying? It's born now. It's out and about now. Once it has conceived, what does it do?
It bringeth forth sin.
It bringeth forth sin. Right?
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
And when it is finished dealing with you, and when it's finished, it means you just wild in it. Now, most people be like, man, I did it already. I might as well keep doing it. Whatever. You don't repent. And some of that stuff can cause you to commit adultery when you're around your family, when you're around your bros, because you can't control yourself. That's that uncontrollable stuff. You know what I mean? Read.
Goes on that.
And with that, man, we're going to end it right there. And with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. And we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Shema Yasharala Yahweh Alahayanawa Yahweh Achet.
There's a little, Israel's about that.
And